Hey everybody, my name is Craig DeWitt. I'm a founder of Skyfire, and today I want to show you what is going on the internet between the AI companies and the bot blockers. So if you haven't been following the drama, this will kind of get you up to speed pretty quickly. So it started off with Cloudflare tweet yesterday calling out Perplexity, a great company in the AI space, saying that they are modifying their user agents and changing IPs to hide their crawling activity. Like, what's the accusation? Well, the accusation is a company like Perplexity, on behalf of users, needs to be able to go out and access websites. And as you can imagine, these websites have a lot of money spent on blocking bad crawlers from accessing the sites. Cloudflare is saying Perplexity is acting like one of those bad crawlers, and that's a problem. Now, they didn't stop there. The CEO of Cloudflare came out and said, supposedly reputable, in quotes, drama alert, are acting more like North Korean hackers. Whoa! Nation state actors here. Time to name, shame, and hard block them all. So just an incredibly aggressive statement about these AI companies, like Perplexity in particular. And one of the big bot blockers is saying, hey, we've had enough. You're no longer welcome at our websites. Pretty intense. Pretty intense. Now, Vercel CEO weighs in and he goes, look, like, this is a problem. If you are just stopping these bots from accessing your site, you're going to be irrelevant, completely irrelevant, because if the agents and the AI platforms can't get into your site, like, there's no point in having a site because that's where all the traffic is going. So it was a good response from the CEO of Vercel. Perplexity had a response, and they just came back with this response that says specifically, the bluster around this issue reveals that Cloudflare's leadership is either dangerously misinformed, on the basics of AI, or simply more flare than cloud. So it's very quickly gotten personal between the AI companies and at least this bot blocker in particular. Now, Perplexity goes on to make a pretty well-reasoned response here. And really what they're saying is a lot of the traffic that is being attributed to them isn't even Perplexity. It's browser-based, so another AI company. And so that they're saying Cloudflare doesn't really know what they're talking about here at all. But the battle lines have clearly been drawn now between Cloudflare, which is a big bot blocker. They control about 20% of the access to the internet, and a variety of these AI agents. Where I think the point is being missed is it's not really a black or white, hey, block bots, allow people in. At least that's not what we're seeing at Skyfire. What we see at Skyfire is the websites, depending on what they do, so like content providers and marketplaces have different requirements here, is they still want to have a relationship with the end consumer. And one of the big changes to the internet, one of the main fundamental changes that we're seeing happen to the internet is it's no longer going to be a consumer, that is a user, going directly to a website and interfacing with the brand. It's now consumer via an agent hitting that website. And so the websites are still trying to figure out what's our play here. We can't serve ads to these agents. We don't want to block all of them, right? Because we still want to be relevant. We still want to show up when people use their AIs. We still want to be able to make money because these agents are going to pay for things. So what do? At least what we're seeing at Skyfire is that the answer here is a combination of identity and payment. And that is where the agent can deliver information on the principle that's behind it, user or business, directly to the bot blocker. And the bot blocker can make a decision of whether or not to allow that agent access, and in some cases, require a payment. So I can show you what that means, but now we're moving into the tech, less on the drama. So if you're just here for the drama, you can click out now. So here's a demo of how things work in a more open world. An open world is really one where anyone can issue identity information, anyone can issue payment information, just as long as they're being trusted by the bot blocker on the other side. So the idea here is, okay, well, how does an agent give its identity and sometimes pay to access a website? We think the approach at Skyfire is open JWT, so just an open token that can be used. And so let's try to crawl a website. This would be like crawling Zillow. If you try to crawl Zillow or programmatically access it, you'll be blocked. But what the agent needs to do is first, it creates a token with the total amount that it's willing to spend. And this is just a tech bubble of information that's embedded in this token. The important thing is that information on the actual user can be delivered to the website. And that's important because now the user, via the agent, can still have a direct relationship with the merchant or website. That's the number one piece of feedback that we actually get from these sites, is that they don't want to be disintermediated, even more so than monetizing. Now, in this case, they are monetizing as well, and it's 1/10 of a cent that can be spent at the site. So let's crawl a site here using Skyfire. And we crawl this. What the agent is doing is it's taking that token that it's created that has identity and payment information in, and now it's passing that directly to a downstream website. And what that allows, it allows the bot to access that site on an on-demand basis. It allows the site to know who they're working with and also get paid. Thank you, guys.